Welcome to beautiful Surry County, here in the northwestern part of North Carolina. It's a beautiful spring day. We're glad you're with us today. We're out at the Ola Hendren Research Farm, and we've got lots of things going on that we'd like to share with you. So please, take a moment and come walk. We'll see what's going on. So hey folks, check out these little guys. They're literally busy as bees, doing a lot of work, things that'll help us as humans. Did you know that bees produce 6 different items in a hive? All of those things that we use on a daily basis. Most of us know about honey. That's the principal thing that they produce, and it's the most expensive thing that they produce. But beeswax is also very important, and it's in things such as artist materials, in polishes for leather or wood, even in medicine that we take as a carrier for medicine. But you know, all of that's important, but the most important thing that these little bees do is produce food for us. When they produce honey, it sells for around $300 million a year in income. But these bees take care of pollinating the plants that feed us every day. And so the value of their work is over $15 billion a year in agricultural income. That equates to 1 bite out of every 3 bites that we have to eat on our plate is produced by bees. We can't have food without them, but they're under attack from lots of different things, from depredation to disease to lack of beekeepers to environmental pressures. Today, here at the Ola Hendren Farm, we have some research going on and some work that we're working trying to get younger folks involved with beekeeping. So today I'm joined by Joanna Radford, our horticulture agent, and Bailey McGill, our 4-H agent. And they're going to share what's going on here. So ladies, take it away.
Extension, local farmers, and local Surry County beekeepers have been working for years to figure out how to protect our #1 pollinator, at least here in Surry County, the honeybee. One of the projects that we've begun working on last year with the help of the North Carolina Pesticide Environmental Trust Fund is a project looking at bee enclosures. And the bee enclosures we would look at is trying to protect these bees during the time of pesticide application. We're looking, this year begins the actual project. We've had these bees for just about a little over a year now, and the project will begin in about a month, putting enclosures over the beehives. We're comparing that to what has traditionally been done to protect the bees during a pesticide application, which is actually removing the hives from the field or taking mesh or wet burlap and putting it into the entrance of the beehive. That causes the bees to be enclosed in this beehive itself. There's not a lot of room, and a lot of times it overstresses the bees, and a lot of them die. So this project is going to look at putting enclosure over the top of the hives that we can move on and off before and after the pesticide application has been completed. The test will end in August, 1st of September. What we hope to gain from the information learned is how to keep these bees safe from pesticide exposures from the applications that is done in nearby farms. As we know, these creatures do have a little problem with enclosed tight spaces. They like their space. And with the enclosures, hopefully we can recommend that those would be effective measures in keeping these bees safe. At a recent field day, local beekeepers taught the general public and other more amateur beekeepers on the health of the hive. So let's take a look inside the hive to see what they were seeing this weekend. The field day allows for us to get inside the hive and to learn about what is happening inside the hive. We can see by the super that has been added here, these ladies have been hard at work, and we have got some capped honey and then some honey that is almost ready to be capped as well. Those that attend the field day also get to know how to go through a hive and determine what they're looking at. And they always know that when they remove a frame from a hive, it needs to go back into the same place. Because if not, it would be just like someone coming into our homes, rearranging our rooms in our house, and we'd be a little bit confused when we entered back in. So this is a few of the things that they are looking at. Nice. They'll also learn that all of the honey will not be taken from the hive. They'll have to leave some honey in throughout the winter so the bees can have food to survive. Important tips for a new beekeeper to learn. One emerging issue that we've discussed for years now is the lack of young beekeepers. So in order to entice young folks into beekeeping, we have come up with, the Surry County Beekeepers and Extension have come up with a program called the Junior Beekeeper Certification Program. And youth age 5 to 16 can get involved with beekeeping. They come to a 6-week course, and it's pretty intensive. We learn all types of information from the anatomy of a bee to the importance of bee and how to keep bees alive and how to be a good beekeeper. At the end of the course, if they have attended all of the sessions over that 6-week period and pass a final exam with a practicum, then they are given the status of a junior beekeeper through the Surry County Beekeeping Association along with Extension. Some of the things that we do, of course, is hands-on activities. What better way to learn? And what a fun way to learn. Some of the things that we teach is a bee's life. And they get to make a diagram of the cells, what the eggs look like, the larvae, the pupa, and then the adults. Fun way to learn. Not only that, they also, during the practicum, one of the exercises is they have to keep a smoker lit and be able to use it and define what a smoker is. So these are just a few of the things that we teach them during that program, along with a beekeeper as well. And what more exciting way to learn is having a true, real beekeeper in there with you. And at the very end, we have another huge field day where we actually get inside the hives.
So in 4-H, we like to do learning hands-on, and this is the perfect classroom for us. So one thing that Joanna mentioned was the Junior Beekeepers Association, but this summer we will also be working on a pollination program for one of our summer fun programs. So part of that is going to be teaching kids about bees and about other pollinators as well and their importance, because we know that they're important, but as far as raising awareness, it's really good to start with the youth as well. We do have curriculum here at the local level and also from NC State that we utilize to teach youth, so that way we're making sure that they're getting reliable information. One fact that the kids really seem to enjoy is about strawberries. So for each of the seeds on a strawberry, a pollinator had to come to that each time for all of those seeds. So that really seems to amaze them. That's one thing that they really love to learn about. And so we use a lot of visuals as well. So this is one that you can really see all of the details. One that we really like to talk to kids about too is the pollen baskets that the honeybees use to carry pollen back from their foraging back to the hive. So that's one that they seem to enjoy as well. We also like to use a lot of activities to make things fun for them. And we have a lot of examples here that we've used in the past. So showing them real examples definitely helps them to understand what's going on, especially bees are so small, so getting to see that on a little bit of a larger scale. Anytime that there's food involved, we love that too. So this is one of our pollination activities. So actually teaching kids what it looks like to pollinate. So they actually get to open up this bag and reach in there, have a snack, and then they will wipe the Cheeto dust on a flower to see actually how that works. So again, a lot of hands-on learning for 4-H, and we're really excited to get to use this bee yard to get to show kids all about pollinators.
So we hope you've enjoyed your visit to Surry today. We hope you've learned a little bit about things we do in the county. You know, we all work for Cooperative Extension, whether it's at NC State or at NCA&T or out in the counties. Our goal is the same for all of us, taking research information from the universities, sharing it with the citizens of the state, and in many ways we do the things that we do. So hopefully you've learned a bit today about something we're doing with bees, and we look forward to visiting with you next time. Thanks.